Should you go to conferences? Yes or no? Now, my answer is always going to be yes, and here's why. So the first reason I want to share with you guys as to why you should go to conferences is it takes you out of your comfort zone. A lot of times I've been to conferences and I would go by myself. A lot of the conferences I was going to, I didn't know whether or not I was going to know anyone at the conference. And it really forces you to take you out your comfort zone. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Walk 12 podcast. If you're tuning in on YouTube or any of the podcast directories, make sure to do yourself one teeny tiny little favor and make sure to give us a follow, because I don't want you to miss out on any of the amazing episodes I got coming on this year. Without further ado, let's get right into this one. So if you haven't been keeping up my little series I've been doing, I've been talking about all the conferences that I've gone to over the past 2.5 years. I've gone to well over 13 or 14, 15 conferences. I didn't mention every single one I went to just because not all of them are worth making an entire episode on, but I mentioned almost all of them. And so if you're wondering, hey, John, should I start going to conferences? They're a lot of money. Should I buy the ticket? I gotta pay for my hotel? I gotta pay for my flight. Should I invest in conferences? This is the episode that you want to tune in for. So that being said, let's get right into this one. For anyone that's new here, allow me to introduce myself. My name is John Mendez. I'm founder of Stop and Stare Media and host of the Walk 12 podcast. And I've been on this entrepreneurial journey for almost 3 years now. I decided to drop out of college back in September, early spring 2021, and haven't looked back since then. I've traveled the country. I've been speaking. I've been hosting this podcast, and it's been a lot of fun. So enough about me. All the remaining listeners, you guys already know who I am, so I'm gonna just get right into this. Should you go to conferences? Yes or no? Now, my answer is always going to be yes, and here's why. So the first reason I want to share with you guys as to why you should go to conferences is it takes you out of your comfort zone. A lot of times I've been to conferences and I'd go by myself. Some of the first conferences I got into, like, I knew people that were going to be there, but like as I got into entrepreneurship and started getting away from real estate, a lot of the conferences I was going to, I didn't know whether or not I was going to know anyone at the conference. And it really forces you to take you out your comfort zone. Now, if you're someone who's not very social, no worries. I am not the most social person. Now, people who know me personally may disagree, but I'm social with the people that I'm already social with. I'm social with my friends. I'm social with people I already know. But people I don't know, I tend to be very closed off. I'm very observant when I go to networking events, when I go to any type of event, a conference, a workshop, whatever it may be. If I don't know anyone at the conference, I'm usually very observant at first. And I'm saying, all right, where are the people that I feel gravitated towards, I feel a pull towards. And I really pay attention to where I'm feeling like pulled to go towards, and I'll go there. But sometimes I can't get that feeling. So I just have to start conversation. Sometimes you never know. Sometimes it's a bad conversation. Sometimes it's and you just go your separate ways, and that's that. No hard feelings. But it really forces you to go out of your comfort zone. Especially like I was someone who never traveled growing up much. My first trip was only because I was in a couple programs with Boys and Girls Club. So aside from that, I rarely ever traveled. And so going on a plane, navigating your airport, navigating, a new city, getting to the hotel, all that is a whole new experience. And so being able to do that just makes you, I feel like, a lot more resilient just for navigating how to get to the destination that you're going to. Now, if it's in your backyard, like you have a conference, let's say you live in Orlando and you're going to a conference in Orlando, like, of course, it's not going to be the same effect, but that's number one. And to add on to that, talking to people you never met before, it's something that is definitely difficult to do. Like, even myself, I've been going to events like this for a while now, and I still find it hard to spring up new conversations, especially when people are already in groups. I hate going into groups where people are already talking and just butting in. Even though people are, from what I've found, are more than like happy to welcome you into the conversation. For whatever reason, it's just tough for me to go into a group that's already talking and start that conversation. And so, as I said, despite me being very social, at least from what it seems from people that know me, when I go to a lot of these events, I'm not the most social person. I go to like maybe meet 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and more than that, that's pretty much it. Like I'll meet like a couple of solid people and then just hang with them for the entire trip. Like that's my usually go to. But as I said, it forces you to get out of your comfort zone because if you don't talk to anyone, well, it's gonna be a pretty lonely trip. And also, if you're going to like these business conferences, like there's people out there that have already succeeded at a level that you're trying to reach, right? And so, if you're not talking to anyone, well, then you're not gonna be learning and growing as fast as you can. And that perfectly segues into number two. The networking is immaculate. Like not all the events, but the ones that were good, man, these connections would take you like way further, way faster than you can ever do on your own. And this is a like old African proverb, right? Just like I think it's an African proverb, but it's pretty much if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. I talked about in my Kajabi Hero Live episode. That was the most impactful conference I've gone to. I'm a course creator / coach, whatever. And at Kajabi Hero Live, it's all course creators and coaches. And you have to be an active Kajabi member in order to go. So not only are they all in my same business model, kind of per se, but they all are using the same software I use to run my business. So like all the people that I'm networking with, for the most part, they're as like-minded as you can get. And so it makes it so much easier to start those conversations, to go out of your comfort zone when you know you're in a group of solid individuals who are all entrepreneurial, right? And are all in the same type of business model as you, right? This digital coach / course creator space, right? / membership community space, right? I'm trying to figure out other ways to word it to make it make sense. But I always say pay for speed and pay for access. The only way to get into entrepreneurship, I feel, and shortcut the process. Everyone says there's no shortcut to success. I think there is, but there's a lot of ignorance that you have to pay off. And Alex Ramosi talks about this. Right? Let's say you're not making $1 million a year. He says that let's say you make $50K a year. He says that if you make $50K a year, that means you're paying $950K each year in ignorance debt because you don't know how to make $1 million. And so being someone like myself that was brand new into entrepreneurship and personal development, not having any business background, not having anyone in my family that has a business background. My dad's always like, he had his own business, but me and him weren't cool until once I got into entrepreneurship and over the pandemic. So before that, I didn't really have any entrepreneurial influences in my life at all. And the only way I feel like I was able to get to where I'm at now, and I'm no big shot. I'm not a 6-figure entrepreneur, 7-figure entrepreneur, nothing like that. I'm still on the journey figuring it out, getting by. I'm making enough money to not have to work a job. But it's like the only reason I feel like I was able to get to where I'm at now is because of the people I've been able to meet. And I only been able to meet these people by investing in conferences, by investing in programs, workshops, whatever. I put my money where my mouth is. I am willing to bet on me. I went to another conference, well, not a conference, a TV show, and in there they were talking about valuing companies and how you can increase the valuation of your company. And they were saying like a lot of these big time investors with venture capital money, a lot of times they're betting on the jockey, right? And this is like a play on like horse racing or whatever, where it's like the jockey is the person who controls the horse. And if the jockey isn't good, they aren't willing to invest in that person. And so when it comes to investing yourself, right, and going to conferences, if you have the plans to sell your company in your future or sell your business in the future, or get brand partnerships or sponsorships, or get advertisement money from like other companies or collabs, whatever, a lot of the time, yes, you probably need to have a good business, but a lot of time they're betting on you, the person. And so by investing in yourself, you're going to become a better person. You're going to become a smarter, wiser person. You're going to have more experience. People are going to get to see that, oh, this person is serious about his growth. He's serious about taking this to the next level and be willing to get behind that versus someone who's just trying to figure it all out on their own, right? So that's the third reason why I think everyone should go to conferences. And the fourth reason is when you go to conferences, you can write it off. Now, I'm not a CPA. This is not no tax advice. This is not none of that stuff. Make sure to consult with a tax professional. But like when I go to conferences, I can only speak for myself. I write that joint off. I show my CPA, and it's get written off because it's a business expense. I'm not traveling for fun. I'm not traveling to go vacation or anything like that. I'm going to the conference. So that flight, the Uber to the airport, the hotel, the conference ticket itself, the food that I eat while I'm there, all that stuff can get written off for me. I said, I'm not talking for any of you guys. This is just for me. And the beauty of this, a lot of you guys that know from the past know that, and I'm big into points and miles. So when I go and I book my hotel, well, I have a Marriott business card. So boom, I book my hotel on my Marriott business card, and now I'm getting a cheaper rate, right? With the Amex Marriott business card, you get cheaper rates than what normal people or normal members get. Then on top of that, I get 6x points for just booking a Marriott hotel through the Marriott app. And then because I'm a Marriott Platinum member, then I get 50% more points. So let's say I get 1,000 points for booking, then I'll get 6,000 because I got a 6x multiplier on my Marriott business card, and then I get 50% more point, which is additional 3,000. So instead of someone paying 1,000 and only getting 1,000 points, I'll spend that same 1,000 and I'll get 9,000 points, right? And then all those points, even though I use it, I got it for paying for a business trip, I can then use for my personal travel, right? And it also gets written off. So like that's game changing. And same thing for my my flights and stuff like that, right? I don't have a JetBlue card or a Delta card or anything like that, but my cards have points back, and so I book the travel, get those points, I'm able to write it off, and then use those points for personal travel. And so this is the name of the game when it comes to points and miles. Like you can have it be super organized because with a business card, all your expenses are usually on there, so it makes it easier on whoever prepares your taxes. Then two, or whoever does your bookkeeping. Two, right? I write my stuff off, and then three, I get points that I can then use for personal travel. So like it's a triple win across the board for me. And I could probably keep going for like the reasons why you should go to conferences, but those are the big four for me, right? It's get out of your comfort zone. Like stretching growth doesn't happen within the comfort zone. If you're not if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. You're not trying yourself. You're not trying hard enough. You're not pushing yourself enough. So it's like it's great to get out of your comfort zone. It's great to like navigate and just see the world. When I go on these trips, I'm not sightseeing. I wish I could, but even still, like I get to travel. I get to experience other cities.